Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to What's the Topic Again podcast. I am one of your co hosts, Emairia Love, aka Mars on the internet.
And I'm Debra Love.
And today we're going to be talking about just pets. Pets that we had in the past, to our current one, our current crazy monkey, which she's in the room with us as we speak. Hopefully, she won't be talking in this podcast
Right.
episode. And plus, for Black History Month, we're going to be talking about three individuals, one male and two females anyway,
Yes,
about
yes.
in the field of at least being a veterinarian anyway, and
The first in the
the
field.
first in their field. And we just want to shed some light on these three individuals, especially their struggles and how they even had to get there and everything like that. Because trust me, in the veterinary field, it's a tough one. I can tell you that for sure. And I feel like y'all gonna like it. Of course, as always, if you want to see our blog post about these three individuals, they will be up by then. So click the link in the description and it will take you straight to it. Credits to all of the outlets and websites and stuff like that. And we're going to take a break and we're going to start talking about some pets. Alrighty, Mama. Let's start with you because I know you specifically. How many? You had only one you personally have. That's the one that you told me anyway.
I've had one personally, yeah, and then as a child we had pets.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, our first pet as a child was named Pup Pup. So he was a stray.
Mhm.
Um, I want to say Uncle John is the one that found the dog,
Oh.
but he was a stray. Of course, strays you feed them, they become yours, and that's how he was. I want to say he was a mixed breed of maybe a German Shepherd lab, but he looked more German Shepherd.
Mm.
But yeah, his name was Pup Pup. So we had him. He lived a few years, in our neighborhood when I was growing up in our low income neighborhood. If dogs did certain things or people felt like they pooped in their yard, they poisoned the dog back then.
Oh.
Yeah. So and they still people still
It's not like
do
people don't do that to this
do
day.
things like that today.
Sometimes even worse.
Right. But she did live a few years with us, and something happened whereas we found her underneath the house and she had passed away.
No.
So that was our first dog. Our second dog.
You might hear her in the background because she wants to get out.
She want to go
bother people.
Yeah. All right, and then our second pet, which is my mom and my aunt was coming back from Miami, Florida. They taking a trip down there. They were coming back, and they seen this dog on the side on the interstate.
Mm-hmm.
They picked, and it wasn't really a puppy at the time. They picked the puppy up, brought the dog from Florida back to Mississippi, and we named him Hitchhiker.
Is it actually off of like the show?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like the show.
Well, people hitchhike,
Yeah.
so he was a dog.
Oh, okay.
So
off of that,
Hitchhiker, yeah, and he lived for a long time. My dad, I think he took him hunting a few times, but Hitchhiker was a really, really good protective dog.
Mm-hmm.
So another mixed breed, stray dog, of course. I think it was just by him being a puppy, someone probably just dumped the puppy out at the
Either
side of
dumped
the road,
the puppy or the mom
pup
specifically couldn't get them home specifically.
Right, and he just probably just strayed away.
Yeah.
But yeah, he lived for a long time. I mean, a long time.
How long by your memory do you think?
I was in high school when they got. No, I wasn't in high school. No, I was in college when they got him. I had already moved out the house, and he was still alive. Cause I know your auntie, she's seen how his hair turned gray, as far as his age and stuff. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, he passed away. And then my other pet, and my first one as an adult on my own, was a cinnamon. No, she wasn't cinnamon.
She was cinnamon.
Cinnamon was a darker brown.
I thought she was light brown.
She was light brown.
This is cinnamon. when it comes to chows anyway, because it was a chow chow.
She was a chow chow, full breed chow chow.
Black tongue and everything you said.
Yeah, her name was Nicole, and she was really a beautiful, beautiful dog.
If I would say, I wish we had.
I
if you took it on your phone or whatever, specifically, which I don't think it would.
Back in that time,
no, not on your phone. Like more sense of like the actual picture. You took the picture of the picture.
Okay, well that is in storage.
Oh yeah, so I'm like, I wish we could show you pictures, but
I don't have that
maybe
picture
on a later note. But specifically, she was a very pretty one. I was not existed back then, but I saw pictures. I'm like, she's such a pretty small thing too.
Right, and then with you, your first pet
was a black Labrador retriever. Her name was Angel. She was everything, bulky dog. But the vet said she was like mixed with a pit, which I'm like, how? I think it was more not Rottweiler. Doberman. That's what I was thinking of. Doberman, because how her ears just stood up, and it looked like a Doberman, how it would be with their big and these small head and just large ears. That's what it looked like, and had her for a few years, had to let her go for certain circumstances that's a little too touchy for me. But our recent one, which we got collectively.
Yeah, we're gonna put pictures of Angel with the tutu on. On here.
So, I'll tell you a little bit of backstory specifically about that since you did that. So we were coming from church, and it was like a pet store next to this Kroger near and close to my house, and we went into like Kroger for something you couldn't find it. You said we'll find it another time, but then I asked you specifically, hey, could we go over there to that pet store? Is that a pet store down there? And you're like, yeah, we can go over there and see everything.
I'm not too big on pet stores.
No, because it had like a whole exhibit of like lizards and stuff, and you're like, no.
And sometimes they put the slithering ones right there in the front.
Yeah, and we walked up in there, and immediately to my right, I just saw just new puppies, just fresh. It was like golden retrievers and also like black. I'm gonna say black Labrador retrievers. That's what I'm trying to say, and they were adorable. All you hear just was just because they're just trying to understand what's going on right now. That's what they're doing. And I'm like, I wish we could take one of them home. And I know we went out the pet store. You called my dad, and you told him about everything about that.
When we made it home, I told him. I told him about it. Yeah. And
then he said, I'll be right back. And then probably a rough cut 15 minutes later, you just see a tiny black puppy in the house with a bag of food, little dish and everything.
Because it's a video of her carrying one of them little toys across the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was something else.
And she specifically was entered into our life, and he was like, I got it for you, Emairia, specifically for you.
He got her for himself.
Yeah. But specifically, I was like, we gonna keep her? Because I was like 5 or 6 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
And like I said, had to give her up because of certain circumstances that we will not talk about.
Well, we can say one point was we really didn't have time for her. I mean, I was working. He
was working, and plus I had school and also cheerleading, and that took up a lot of my time.
And she was more of an outdoorsy dog. She was more independent. Yeah. Really, she was.
Like, she needed like
would
somebody
break out the fence and just go.
Like, she needs somebody that could be adventurous as her, like someone that's like a hiker or just someone that travels a lot, something like that.
Right.
And it just, she was our temporary dog. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, she needed that. She needed that attention that we weren't able to give to her at that time. Yeah. So, I mean, the best option that we had for her, I think it turned out better for her that way.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But we got a crazy monkey.
Yeah.
And we got that whole story on its own. You need to tell from your perspective, because I just was like the decision maker, if you would.
Well, we have been looking around. We've been saying the breed of animal, or at least dog, that we want. And Husky was one of the ones that came up, along with a Golden Retriever, Irish Settler, German Shepherd.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever said...
we said Australian Shepherd, too.
Yeah, that. And, we were talking about dogs. Well, a young lady that I used to work with, she knew a woman who had a kennel, and she had just had a litter of full breed Siberian Huskies, and she was selling them at a cheap price.
Like, we were shocked to hear the
Right.
price. We're like, that much
Right.
for a husky with blue eyes and everything?
Right.
Because if y'all don't know anyway, huskies they're full bred and also have like icy blue eyes like Luna does anyway. She specifically would have been probably like in almost the thousands.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like half of that.
Less than half.
Less than half of that. Wow.
Was, full disclosure, it was $300.
That's crazy.
And at that time, I'm thinking, well, I wish I would have bought another one. I wish I would have got a sibling of hers as well, because they were separated.
Yeah,
because she got the brother, the young lady who was telling me about it. She ended up getting a boy, and we ended up with a girl. Mm-hmm. And I think it still probably was some more.
Yeah.
I wish I would have told her 2 instead of 1.
I mean, because of, if you don't know what huskies, in my opinion, it's not like they can't be independent on their own, but sometimes, as the saying goes, it's better than, at least, what is 2 as a pair? What that one is?
I don't know.
I'm just thinking to myself, I'll probably pull up, what I mean, but
she be trying to come up with stuff and think that it's going to be in my head.
But it's better with 2. That's what I'm trying to say.
2 is better than 1?
Yeah, that's the one. We figured it out.
I did think it was.
We figured it out. 2 is better than 1 because with huskies anyway, or in most, some sort of very active dog, sometimes 1 is at least is okay if it's consistently active with the others. I'm gonna say with the other owner, but if like us, we're not active with her all the time, she gets bored. She gets lonely. And she would just go.
She'll get into something.
Yeah, always do.
She would get into something that's like, hey, okay, you're not playing with me. Let me go find something to play with. One time, she had to be about 6 months old, and I was in my office working, and I can just hear something
just
moving.
Just,
and I'm like, it's just here. And I go in the living room. She is pulling the couch. She is literally just got it.
I think I had screenshots of it. I don't remember.
She is literally pulling the couch from against the wall. I'm like, what in the world is your problem?
What type of strength is it?
But I've seen husky videos where dogs.
But they were adults. That was 6 months.
Right, they weren't that age, but they just ripped the whole couch apart.
Yeah.
They tore up everything when that person
they
left
were
them at home.
mad at their owner.
Yeah.
But Luna basically was pulling on everything, teething like crazy, and
chewing on stuff.
Yeah.
She liked the arm of the couch, and she liked the cocktail table.
Yeah.
She would
the coffee table. Yeah.
That's what she would just.
Even she chewed on my dad's old slippers. She chewed on that. She
didn't get into my shoes.
No. She only did that one time, and that was it. And she's like, that was fun, and whatever. And then she chewed up on a TV stand, not the actual TV stand like what you put on TV. I talk about like the little things that we normally would have anyway.
The TV dinner.
Yeah.
The TV dinner stands.
It was a wooden one. She had a good time with that one. We had to throw that away. And get plastic ones instead. I think we
still have some pictures with those teeth marks in them.
Yeah.
She did a good job on chewing us, even though we
called her a beaver for that.
Right, but we had chew toys for her, but I guess it wasn't hard enough for her as far as teething.
Because she had a bite.
Yeah, she really wanted to chew on that, so hey, still
she
got her.
She chewed up her new bed.
That she did. I'm like,
she looked so cute in the bed too. I have pictures of that, and I'm like, it's nice and
that
cute.
Was
she was
not
like,
what
no,
that
no.
was for. It was for you to lay down in and go to sleep. But no, we're gonna chew up and tear up the bed.
And we even, at least I anyway, made a cushion for her to like lay on the backseat of your old car, and she chewed on that too. We had to throw that away. I'm like, good thing that was clearance fabric. My gosh, and it was nice fleece too.
Good thing that we was like, okay, that's the nature of having a pet. You can't get mad because that's the process that they go through. All of us tease.
Yeah.
And chew on things. Even as infants, they chew on either the fist, they're gonna chew on a teething ring, the feet, they're gonna chew on the pacifier, whatever it is that's going to satisfy
that's in
that.
their grasp. But instead of dealing with an infant that cannot walk, you're dealing with some animal that can walk already and have like somewhat of a conscience of when the world's going on.
Right. Because I picture up, I was talking to Mama on the phone in the car, and she said, "What is that noise going on?" I said, "I just bought a husky, and she's in a crate, and she is in the back of the car, and she was
out.
like yapping, whining. I don't know if she had a little howl at that time, and then all of a sudden the yapping stopped. So by the time that I made it home and was in the garage and opened it up, the yapping stopped because she had to go to the bathroom, and she did it in that crate, but she separated herself from it. Like, okay, you over there, mess, but I'm gonna be over here in this corner.
And she still does that to this day. She has a few accidents.
I get away from it. Yeah. So, of course, I cleaned out the crate, and your daddy got her inside.
And I'll tell it from my perspective after this, because you had to, because at the time I think you were.
I had to go back to work.
Yeah, and I couldn't really get out of school because of certain reasons, and I finally took my lunch. At least not take my lunch. Was on my lunch break. Let's say that, and it was roughly like 45 minutes. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna see the new puppy. I was timid as much as she was. She was creeping out of y'all's bedroom anyway, because Daddy gave her a little rinse, and she snuck underneath y'all's bed immediately afterwards, and specifically she was trying to creep her way around the corner anyway out of y'all's bedroom. As soon as she saw me, she just scurried back into y'all's bedroom underneath the bed, and she
was the center of the being underneath, right there in the center, because she knew no one could reach and get her.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh God, this is gonna be just a whole bonding session. Please don't trust me.
But y'all did that. You and your daddy. That's like I said. They did it because I didn't.
We laid on the floor.
Laid on the floor in the living room, and they
with
stayed
her bowl of kibble, trying to convince her
all night. But like I told him, I said she has that separation anxiety. She knew that she was with her mom and her siblings. Now she's not. So it's no one in the household that looks like her. So it's going to have to be an adjustment for her. And even when she did come out the room and she was in the living room, where was she? Underneath the couch.
Underneath the couch, in the center of the couch.
Yeah. And you got to picture her underneath there, and she had to give her a little kibble just to get her from underneath the couch.
Even halfway out. Right. And she wasn't even coming out fully.
But I think it took like maybe a few nights or something.
I'll say 2 nights. It wasn't like a week or something. It was like
before she said, okay, I'm going to come for money. But she still ran away from your daddy a lot. Even when she got about 2 months, 3 months old, she was still running away from him.
Speak of the dog.
Yeah. Who is she barking at?
Tony. No. Barking at Dad?
No, I guess she is barking at him. Now she runs down the hall.
I don't know what she did.
I don't know, but if you can hear, you probably hear some barking in the background. But she loves to talk. That's her thing.
That's her thing. She gonna say with her chest. She gonna say with her chest, no matter what, because she'll talk over you too.
Yeah.
And have a whole conversation, and the amount of arguments that y'all have not seen has been cut out or anything like that in these podcast episodes, because sometimes she would talk.
Yeah.
And I know we had like a whole argument session one time. I'm like, Donkey, he does. She was like, woo, and just going at it. It was too funny.
And the veterinarian told me, she said, huskies talk, but she said the female ones have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Those are very, very vocal.
That's what my cousin said too, because she has like that male pit and these pit. And is it a pit bull? Yes, bulldogs. My bad. And specifically, she was like, "Is it male or female?" And I'm like, "It's a female." Oh, she probably got a lot to say to y'all.
She do have a lot to say.
And she, I'm like,
all the time. Even if she feel like, oh, good morning or hello, you did not see me. Hello, you did not give me a
She
belly
would
rub.
nudge
You
your
did
hand,
not,
be like,
yeah.
give me
You
attention and
didn't rub
everything like that.
my head. What is the deal with
Give
you
me
today?
belly rubs. Never seen a
Right.
dog that loves belly rubs as much as she do.
All dogs love belly rubs, I think.
Angel did not. She was like, okay.
Like I said, Angel was more independent.
Yeah.
Angel was more of the outside dog than the inside dog.
Yeah. But Luna is definitely a character that has developed over time because
too much personality.
I mean, the way that she be knucking and bucking like a bull, galloping like a horse,
right.
to even spider monkey, just running around like crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I call her a monkey, because she reminds me of a spider monkey swinging in trees.
No, that video we have of her when we had that mattress. You know, the mattress you used to practice on as far as flipping in the house. Mm-hmm. We put the mattress up so she couldn't go.
You have the video. It's so funny. I do
have the video. She gonna crash into it like, I'm strong. I can do it. I can knock it down.
No.
Damn. But she did climb
onto
the love seat.
It. I was like,
and got on the ledge because you were in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm not sure whether I can make it in here or not, but I'm going to try.
She split down because you didn't see my side. You only saw like the majority of it.
Right.
But that landing was definitely given like a cat's landing.
Okay.
Like a little bit of a splat, but we still landed on 4 feet.
She would do it. She would try it. She would figure, like you say, she's always thinking.
She gonna figure it out.
And she gonna figure it out.
She gonna figure it out. And the way that I sound to this dog like a mother to her surprised my mom and sometimes daddy. Sometimes the thing I sound like, doggy, you don't sit down somewhere.
And she sit down. I'm like, okay. But she would sit down. She would sit with me at times because my command for her to sit, I just put my finger up. I say, Luna, sit. Now, trust me, she's going to give me some feedback.
She's going to be defiant as she always do.
Like, I don't care if you is telling me to sit down. I'm going to sit down because I'm sitting down
because I want to sit down. But if I enter the room like, sit down, dog, she'll
just sit. She make gruff or whatever. I said, I don't care
about
the gruffing.
She has puffed at us before.
Yeah, I said, but you can. You going to sit. And she'll sit and then laying down. It's like that's
dramatic.
Drama.
She's like,
that's drama.
But she's been doing that ever since I first taught her anyway.
Because I think she was about maybe 2 or 3 months old when you taught her to do the paw and the high five.
First dog I actually succeeded to do that because I was trying to make Angel learn it, but I think she was just too old to even think about learning tricks like that.
Angel
but one thing that Angel could do anyway that Luna tries, but she's just not that good at is to dance.
And then
spin
go around in the circle on
Yeah.
her hind legs the way she did. I know I got videos of her doing that too. Yeah.
And physically with Luna, on the other hand, she could jump real high. Not saying Angel couldn't either, but Luna could jump real high.
The motivation is a treat.
Yeah, always. Treats, cookies,
but
food.
The way she jumped, it's almost like she angled her body away or whatever. It's almost like
get it.
It's a trick. You know, I'm going to jump and get it. No, I'm going to jump.
She's a very agile dog. We keep saying alone that we should take her to an agility course.
It's an agility course here.
Yeah, I know there's
right
plenty.
Right down the street.
And it's just finding the time and also finding a class that's available. That's
right.
But I know she will love it, especially when it comes to like running around and just exerting her energy. Of course, after the exertion runs out, she's gonna be like, "Y'all, I'm tired. Can we go home?
Let's go home.
I want to go home."
This is too much.
This just the most goofy dog that we probably have ever had in our collective lives.
I would just say just something, a pet with a lot of personality.
Yeah.
A lot of characteristics when it comes down to her.
She collect all of us because she know how to say no.
The
dog know how to say no because of my dad, because he would do this, just shake his head from side to side, signaling to her that means no. And she'll do the same thing, just in a playful way, like, no, I ain't gonna do that, no. I'm like, this dog. She does playful sneezes. Yeah, I think some owners know exactly what they mean. Like some owners know exactly what I mean. Just like playful sneezing, just going at it, and it's like really, you suck yourself up.
And she can say, "I love you." Trying to get her to say thank you. Trying to get her to be patient and say grace.
I tried to teach her how to wave, but she just got it too like impatient. Like
she did, that part, but I don't think that you
I don't think she understands the gesture of like a
Right.
signaling of a wave. That's all
I
it
don't
is.
think you gave her enough time as far as training on that
Me
one.
either. No.
You know,
I
because
feel like it.
you wait with treatment from her, she gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, you said hello? Yeah, we can do hello because with other people, not even with your uncle, she did the
Mhm.
paw, and
Mhm.
the high five with him.
Mhm.
You know, but he didn't have a treat, but it was just the fact I think he had some food,
Yeah.
and she thought she was gonna get some.
Yep.
So yeah,
This
of course.
dog, another animal that also loves human food a wee bit too much.
Yeah, we
But
try
we
to
give it
make
to
sure
her though.
we try to make sure the food that we do give her, we look it up
Yeah.
online, we Google it to make sure
Like we
it's
give
something that she
her
can
like
eat.
it's not like it's a meal replacement either.
No,
It's
no.
like we give it to her as like either a snack or mix it in with her food. That's what we normally would do.
Yeah.
Like eggs, good source of protein. Another
Hmm.
good source of protein is like chicken. Tell the story, mama.
Okay, we were your I were in the bedroom and I heard her making, like snappy noise, like she's
Like she growling, trying
growling.
to.
I'm like, what is the deal? So I look on the camera and I see my husband in her crate. I'm like, what is he trying to do, with her? And he said, I'm like, what's going on? I get up and I said, what's going on with she got some in the mouth, but she ain't gonna let me get it because she is
She
like,
gonna nip at you.
She's like, this is mine. You ain't getting this out of my mouth. So he was trying to figure out what it was. When he went back in the kitchen, because he was unthawing some chicken legs, one of them was gone. Luna got it. He said she must have been plotting on this for a long time.
Because he's been doing the same ritual ever since I was younger.
Yeah.
Unthaw the chicken anyway in cold water because that's
Mhm.
what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to do it in warm water, people. And let it unthaw either at most overnight or at most a couple hours. And he would normally do that just scot-free, just open. That's it.
Yeah.
And then,
But he did it when we was at the other house.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ever since I was younger, anyway.
Yeah, and he that's just I guess that's what he grew up doing.
Yeah,
and
either
this and
grew
that,
up doing
he
or
do it.
was taught to do
But
because he
he
did
went
work at
outside
churches.
for something.
I think he went outside for like the mail, or he left something out in the car.
Yeah,
or
he
something.
went outside for something, and that was a prime opportunity to get it. Because when he went back over there, he said it was 4 chicken legs over here. Now it's 3. That's what it was that she had. That's what she was eating. And we were just hoping that nothing damaged her inside because it was a chicken leg. It was
Yeah.
a bone in
Yeah.
there.
But we looked it up anyway. It's fine for a dog to eat like raw chicken, especially even the bone too. It just the bone cannot be cooked. Speak of the devil, here she comes. So speak of the devil when you call her name.
Cooking crumbs.
You had everything to say. What you gotta say, honey? She's like, yeah. She just looking at us. But anywho, you got anything to say? You gonna lay down?
She gonna lay down.
All right. She laid down for us. But yeah, I mean, we have so many stories about her in general, and just we can go on and on for days and days and days. But she's probably the most expressive dog that we had collectively, and she has her own little personality that we
Yep.
just, and her own quirks that we just love and adore for God craze. And I think we're gonna take a little break, and we're gonna talk about these 3 people anyway.
Yeah. We can
All
do that.
right. Alrighty, let's take a break. Alright, mama, get your papers ready, people, because we're going to talk about history. We're going to talk about history. Let's get into it.
Okay, so the first one's going to be about the first African American female veterinarians, and
Emphasize 2. It's an emphasize 2 on
Yeah,
the
I
sense
said-
of veterinarians.
exactly, female veterinarians. So the first one that I am going to talk about is going to be Dr. Jane Hinton, and Dr. Hinton.
This her picture right here. I had to figure it out myself. That's her right here.
Dr. Hinton.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Hinton received her Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree in 1949 from the University of Pennsylvania. It was inevitable that Dr. Hinton was going to be an educator and or involved with medicine. Her father, Dr. William Augustus Hinton, was a microbiologist and the first African American professor at Harvard University.
Trust
Wow.
me, we gonna
Her
get
mother
into
was a high school teacher and a social worker. So you got education in your
it.
family.
Yeah.
So that field you went into, but you went into the education field as far as veterinary medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So before she began studying for her veterinarian degree, Dr. Hinton worked as a laboratory technician at Harvard. In 1931, her father developed a medical laboratory technique course, which was open to women. So while working in Harvard's laboratory, she co-developed the Mueller-Hinton agar with John Howard Mueller. This agar, or broth, was a medium developed to isolate the Neisseria bacteria that cause meno- meningococcal meningitis
Okay.
and gonorrhea.
Mm.
It became the most widely used cultural medium for, I guess I'm saying this right, Neisseria. Mueller-Hinton agar became a standard laboratory medium for this purpose. So during World War II, Dr. Hinton also worked as a lab technician in Arizona. So after the war, Hinton studied veterinary medicine at the University of Pennsylvania, where she received her Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree in 1949. So after receiving her degree, she practiced as a small animal veterinarian in Canton, Massachusetts, and then served as a federal government inspector in Framingham, Massachusetts. So let's go to Dr. Webb. So Alfreda Johnson Webb, she was born February 21st, 1923 in Mobile, Alabama. She was a professor of biology and a doctor of veterinary medicine. She was the first black woman licensed to practice veterinary medicine.
First licensed woman
in the United States. Yeah. So Webb was born, as I stated, February 21st, 1923 in Mobile, Alabama, to Katie Lee Avant Johnson and Bibb Garden Johnson. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree from Tuskegee Institute in 1943 and her Doctor of Veterinary Medicine in 1949 from the Tuskegee Institute, which is now the University School of Veterinary Medicine. Webb was the first of two African American women to graduate from a school of veterinary medicine in the United States. In 1949, she then took faculty study leave from Tuskegee to earn her master's degree in anatomy from Michigan State University in 1950. All right, so
but trust me, she got recognition specifically by Michigan State too, on like their website and stuff like that, which I'll leave down in the description for y'all to read.
All right, and she has some professional veterinary positions. She also has some political and government positions. I don't want to try to leave out anything on that. We'll just put that on the website for Dr. Webb.
Yeah.
Let's look back at Dr. Hinton.
Just a little bit on her past life and education, a little bit more.
Well, I think we'll go back to her as far as Dr. Hinton. I didn't say when she was born. She was born May 1st, 1919. We did mention her father's name, William Augustus Hinton, and he was a bacteriologist and a pathologist who was an expert in the diagnosis and treatment of syphilis, including the development of tests for syphilis. That's why she did the agar, because of, she was a lab technician.
I must say we learned a little bit more with y'all. That's what we're doing.
So her father was the son of a former slave, and he was the first African-American professor at Harvard University and the first African-American author of a textbook. He entered laboratory medicine because racism in Boston prevented him from gaining an internship in medicine. So he really wanted to become a doctor, but he couldn't do that, so he ended up working in the lab. Still gave some things, contributed in the field of medicine with his lab work. Jane Hinton, as I say, her mom was Ada. She was born in 1878. She was a high school teacher and social worker. She was born in Georgia. William and Ada married in 1909. They had two daughters, which was Jane and Ann Hinton Jones. As we stated, Jane earned her undergraduate No, we didn't state this before. But Jane Hinton earned her undergraduate degree at the age of 20 from Simmons College in 1939.
And then let me tell you something. This woman from 1919 to 2003, she lived good life. I say that all the time to anybody that like make it to their 80s. I'm like, you live good life.
Right, right. She did. So, she died at the age of 83.
That.
Yeah.
I'm like, in my opinion, I always think to myself, I'm like, I want to be good at kicking and when I hit 80, you know what I mean?
So, I mean, just to be the co-developer of this Mueller-Hinton agar, this culture that...
It's very fascinating.
Yeah. Let's see, anything else?
A little bit more information. Doesn't hurt to do that.
Okay, so Jane Hinton, together with John Taylor, the first African-American graduate of the University of Pennsylvania Veterinary Medicine School, were honored during their school's centennial celebrations by the Minority Veterinary Students Association in 1984. At least she was still around to get that honor.
Because most of the time, anyway, with a lot of people that they don't really get the honor sometimes till after death, which is not cool.
And then you have family members there to accept that award on their behalf. So, yeah. All right, so those were the two ladies, Miss Alfreda Webb and Jane Hinton. What else do you want me to read about her?
You could do specifically for Dr. Webb, anyway, with the some of the honors, because I want to put that out there too.
Okay, so the honors and awards that Dr. Alfreda Webb received were in 1949. Webb became the first black member of the Women's Veterinary Association. Webb was the member of the American Association of Veterinary Anatomists, Sigma Psi, the Hayes-Taylor YMCA, and the Gamma Sigma Delta Honorary Society. She received the Alpha Kappa Alpha Award for Political Excellence and the Distinguished Alumni Award from Tuskegee University in 1972.
That's pretty neat.
She was inducted into the NCA&T Agricultural Hall of Fame in 1999. In 2016, the North Carolina State College of Veterinary Medicine established a $50,000 endowed Dr. Alfreda Johnson Webb Scholarship Award to cover educational expenses for 2 students from underrepresented groups. Wow.
That's nice.
The endowment was established by gifts from the North Carolina Minority Veterinarians Association and matched funds from the R.B. Terry Charitable Foundation. Wow, that is very nice.
It's very nice that they recognize her achievements and put it into like funding for other people.
They raised funds and they had a $50,000 scholarship. They gave that to 2 students.
That's very nice.
The North Carolina State College of Veterinary Medicine, which sorts its faculty, staff, and students into 4 houses to support college well-being, has a house named after Webb.
That's very cute.
Right.
We love that. We love that. Because not a lot of women will get recognized specifically by a college, in my opinion. And that's really good that she made her note right there.
Well, and this is cute. House Webb has a dog on its crest to emphasize Webb's commitment to companion and lab animals and has the motto fairness, equity, and justice.
That's so cute.
That's on the house. Wow.
Wow. These love 2 women, in my opinion, is like that. I think it deserves another round of applause right there. We love that. These 2 wonderful women right here definitely put their stamp on the world. Love that.
Right. Let's
see. Love that. Do you want to take a break before we talk about this last person?
Yes, we can.
All right, let's take a little break and we're going to be right back to talk about the last person for the day that we're going to end the episode. Alrighty, this gonna cut a little deep on this one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take our time,
Okay, so let's go. The first male. Let me go to this. Okay,
who is this?
The person's name is Augustus Nathaniel Lushington.
All right, and
I'm gonna start reading this.
All right. I'm listening.
So veterinary medicine has been taught at Cornell since shortly after its founding in 1865, Dr. James Law, a distinguished veterinarian teacher and graduate of Edinburgh Veterinary College in Scotland, came to Cornell in 1868, setting higher requirements for a veterinarian degree than any other institution at that time. In 1871, the university faculty passed a resolution requiring 4 years of study for a bachelor's in veterinary science and an additional 2 years for a doctorate in veterinary medicine. Wow. So
I was going to say, we're trying to give you some context before we get into the actual person up in here anyway.
yeah. A degree previously unavailable from any institution in the United States. So for the next 20 years, Law lobbied state legislators for funding to expand Cornell's veterinary program into a genuine college. He succeeded in 1894 when the New York State Veterinary College was established, now known as Cornell University College of Veterinary Medicine. So that's how that was formed. So during these early years, the composition of students were predominantly white and male. When the university opened in the fall of 1868, Law's first classes included students who were working toward degrees in agriculture and biological sciences, and a few special students who were pursuing veterinary degrees. Special students were individuals studying at Cornell on recommendation from a faculty member. They were allowed the same courses and scholarly advantages as degree-earning students, but would instead receive a certificate signed by the professor upon completion. Really? So Dr. Augustus Nathaniel Lushington was one such student. So he was a special student. Did everything that the white male students did, but could not say that I earned a degree. You're going to give me a certificate.
Something that I could print up.
Well, just, I'm doing the same thing. I should earn a degree for medicine. I should not get a certificate. I completed the same course as they completed. Probably had a higher score than what they had in those classes anyway.
Probably, especially if you're a special student, you know.
Right. So, I digress, but
I was say, but this is the thing. Look, I want to pause for a second. If you read our blog post anyway, once again, I'll leave it down in the description for you just to see the whole blog page anyway. We do have an announcement on there that we recently posted on February 1st, and specifically, I've written that from head to toe, and it's like on the sense of, even though we're talking about Black history, even though we're talking about accomplishments and stuff like that that these people have done, at least these ethnic people have done anyway, it's not like they didn't have to go through some struggles, man.
Yeah.
And we want to highlight on that, and we want to, because the thing is, us as a race have been through struggles, period, and still go through it till this day.
Yeah.
And we want to highlight that anyway, because we're not going to belittle it like, oh, this is the achievements that they've done, we're going to move forward. No. We're going to talk about this like it's a history lesson.
What they had to go through to even get their name recognized as far as being accomplished in that field.
Right.
But still, I can't get doctor in front of my name because I am a special student.
And also Black.
Right. So he enrolled at Cornell in 1890, initially to study medicine, but his interest in the veterinary was in the veterinarian field grew after he went in for medicine. He really started liking veterinarian medicine more than just the medical field.
Sometimes it be like that.
Yeah, his courses included veterinary science, taught by Dr. Law, Dr. James Law himself, making Lushington the first recorded Black. It's right. Making Lushington the first recorded Black man to study veterinary medicine at Cornell. All right. So born on the island of Trinidad, he was born in 1861. Lushington earned good grades as a youth and was certified in a teacher training course in 1878. And this was at the age of 17.
Wow.
So,
smart kid right there.
Right. He taught in government schools in Trinidad, where he was promoted to the principalship after several years, some spent in Venezuela, working for the railroad industry, Lushington made his way to Binghamton in upstate New York in 1889.
Mm.
Still young, he was
Mhm.
28 years old at
Whoa.
that time.
Okay.
To pursue higher education. There he met his first wife, Elizabeth Naomi Gavino Hubert, and he started a family. So to make ends meet during his time as a special student at Cornell,
Mhm.
Lushington worked as a custodian in the anatomical library as an animal caretaker for Dr. Bert Green Wilder, professor of physiology, physiology in the Department of Comparative Anatomy and Zoology. Upon completion of Law's veterinary science course, Lushington received his signed certificate, and in 1893 he was listed as a member of the executive committee of the Cornell Medical Society, alongside two other landmark veterinary professors, Doctors Pierre Fish and Grant Sherman Hopkins. I
As always, I'll pull up pictures, of
Yeah.
course, of everything that we are looking at.
So ultimately, however, Lushington decided to pursue his doctorate in veterinary medicine in Philadelphia at the University of Pennsylvania School of Veterinary Medicine, where in 1897, I'm still going back to his age,
Mhm.
so he was 36 at this time.
Oh,
He
she human calculator here.
Yeah.
Does she?
He became the first black man to earn the the VMD degree. He practiced veterinary medicine first in Pennsylvania, then in Virginia for nearly 4 decades, primarily in large animal medicine. He was also a member of the National Medical Association, which was established in 1895 during an era when the majority of black physicians, dentists, pharmacists, and veterinarians were disenfranchised from professional organizations. So they weren't even allowed to be a part
so
of
like,
the organization.
I'm like, man, that's what I'm saying in my head.
So although Lushington's private practice was busy, he often faced racism from white clients, some of whom refused to pay him for his services. Yeah, I mean, you're going to come out and you're going to take care of my animal. I know you're good at what you do. I trust you.
And he said large animals too, so I'm thinking like zoo animals type stuff.
I'm thinking horses. I'm
Could
thinking cows.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking animals on that side as far as farming is concerned.
Could be farming or cattle, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Especially thinking back at that time too. So,
right. So Lushington took on other jobs in Lynchburg, Virginia to support his family, including as a statistician and reporter for the United States Bureau of Animal Industry and as a city meat inspector. He was also promoted to associate city probation officer for the municipal court. Moreover, Lushington was prominent in the community as a member of the African American branch of the Masons and St. Luke's Fraternal Organization, the Lynchburg Chamber of Commerce, as president of the Lynchburg Negro Business League, and senior warden of the Chapel of the Good Shepherd Episcopal Church. Lushington died in February 1939 and is buried at Forest Hill.
How old was he when he died? Human calculator. Do you? 1961. Most of this stuff is like kind of blurry too of what I pulled up because I pulled up the information this time for once.
You probably need to go to the Encyclopedia Britannica, their website. And we'll look it up on there just to make sure.
Just to make sure because while I'm editing, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, we'll make sure that it's correct.
Yeah, because like so some of this is kind of like wishy-washy in my opinion.
Or we'll just say on or around.
Yeah.
That age. Hinton died February 1939 is buried at Forest Hill Burial Park. There is a historical marker in his honor at his Lynchburg residence, and the University of Pennsylvania displays his portrait in the lobby of the Gladys Hall Rosenthal building.
Which I think that portrait that we saw on the other side of this paper is the one that's
portrait right here?
No, not that one. I think it's this one.
Okay.
Because they normally have like the name down there when it comes to portraits like that. But anywho, specifically.
But those are our veterinarians that we wanted to recognize. The first in the field, the obstacles they had to endure and overcome. And I looking at Dr. Lushington just to know that, okay, I know I'm good at what I do.
Right.
I'm not really doing it for these people. I'm doing it because I'm passionate and making sure that these animals are taken care of.
Right.
I'm doing that. I can get paid by them if I'm gonna get paid, but I'm also gonna have my other jobs on the side too as well. Just to know that I'm gonna do whatever it takes to take care of my family.
Right.
And he has some prominent positions. So it does frustrate me to read history and to just try to put myself in their shoes.
Right.
I can feel the pain.
Right.
I can feel their frustration, and I also, just even talk to my mom about certain things, it frustrates me.
Because she's been through a few bits of herself.
Yeah.
Which hopefully one day we'll have her on the podcast.
One day soon, we're going to make sure that we get her, trying to figure it out to get her on the podcast.
We're going to try to figure out a way.
Yeah.
And, just to hear these three people, especially in the veterinarian field, to hear what they have done.
Yeah.
And even still get recognized, because the thing is, like I said, sometimes they just push people under the broom just to be like, whatever.
Underneath the rug.
Underneath the rug. With a broom, sweeping with the broom. Anyway, sweeping underneath the rug to just like shine another person, aka a white person, just to not even recognize these people. And thankfully, not only the two women got recognized in their own field, but he got recognized too.
He got recognition as well.
And just to have that out there just makes me, happy and blessed to even.
But you don't know
people.
What that individual had to go through to get that recognition to them.
Yeah.
They, people had to fight.
Yeah.
They probably had to go to the legislator. They probably had to go to the city. When it come down to getting markers put up, when it come down to get somebody's name put somewhere, they got to be approved by a group of people. You probably got to have a list going on to get people.
It's so much.
It just can go on and on with what you have to do. But the thing about it is that it was that person's fight. It was something that they wanted to do to give recognition to these individuals, and that's what happened.
And we're shining light on them on this podcast to this day. So I'm like, I love doing this, and this is definitely like it's some insight. And like I said, it's not like we're doing this like as a report history. This is like we find information about these certain people, especially that's kind of correlating to our topic,
right? And
just going off of, we print it out and we're just going to run along with the punches. So it's almost like a history lesson for us
as well,
mid-recording while we doing
I didn't read this until we really got ready to discuss it. And I think, to me, at this point, I want to be surprised about it too.
Yeah, I do too.
So it was new women. I just tell her what I want us to do this week, and she went and she researched it, and she did it for me. So I'm glad I got to learn about and was introduced and got to meet Dr. Lushington, Dr. Webb, and Dr. Hinton.
So me too. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna end this podcast episode after this short little break. Alrighty, folks, if you enjoyed this week's podcast episode, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us specifically on Apple and Spotify. And go to our website. It's www.whatsthetopicagain.com. We have blog posts up as we speak, so go read them. We take time. Please just read it for a second, even if you click on it. Then we have like all the information specifically like that, because this time for once it's like a report. Because last week it was a report from you for sure. Yeah. And then this week I would say I did a lot of the research beforehand as much as I could, and still learning a lot of information even as we speak, just in depth anyway. And I will say for sure we will keep this train going with Black History, and I don't know what we're doing next week, but I know it's going to be a surprise for sure, as much as it is for y'all anyway. Do you have any final notes, Mama?
No, as I would usually say, take your time, enjoy your week, enjoy your family.
Yeah.
Every day is a blessing.
Yeah.
And I would say live every day to the fullest. Just don't try to always think about, okay, the future. Live in the present.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what the future holds for us.
Yeah.
do not live in the past because you can't do nothing to change that.
Right.
Live in the present. And I'm not only am I saying this for you, I'm also saying it for myself.
Right.
I try to make sure that I keep the past in the past. Maybe I can discuss it, good times, bad times, or whatever, but I can't do nothing to change it.
Right.
So accept it, move on, live in the present, because you don't know. You can have something or may not be talking to an individual or not doing anything today, and you don't know whether the individual is going to be here tomorrow or not.
Yeah.
So please don't shut anybody out of your life because you don't know. You never know. Each day, live it to the fullest. I would say each second, each breath that you take, live it. Be thankful for it. And we're going to just move on. I can go. That can be a whole nother topic.
Yeah,
I can just
like
leave
we
it alone,
did
but I'm not gonna
motivation
do
last
that.
week.
I'm not going to do that. But enjoy the rest of your week.
I agree.
I appreciate you all taking the time out to listen and to watch.
Yes.
Watch us.
And I would say this: be safe in these winter streets because they're gonna keep fighting no matter what, especially up north for sure. Especially
northwest.
Yep.
Yeah.
And get your shots up. Stay bundled up. Stay warm.
Yeah, because that virus is still out.
Yep. And
we live in proof of that.
We just testify. Like, please stay safe.
Yeah, stay
please.
safe.
And we're gonna see you guys next week. So have a nice, wonderful rest of your week.